What is up, my piney brethren? Welcome back to this week's episode of Human Review. Last episode on Human Review, we did a review of Jesus, so I thought this week we could do another religious figure, a familiar face, the Prophet Muhammad. Now, I will admit, before making this video, I didn't really know much about Muhammad or Islam in general, but I've done some extensive research. I've delved deep into the Quran lore, and I can safely say I know enough to give the Prophet Muhammad an accurate, well-educated review. Jumping right on up in this bitch, starting with number one positive. We always start with the positives if you're new to the show. Number one positive for the Prophet Muhammad is he rode on a Pegasus to heaven. Now, the reason I think this is a positive is because Pegasi are quite rare. It's not every day that you see a Pegasus up and about. But so anyone who's gotten a chance to actually ride on a Pegasus is a pretty cool dude in my book. Moving on, number two positive is if you are lucky enough to go to heaven, he will reward you with 72 virgins that will be your sex slaves for all of eternity. And yeah, that's very thoughtful of him. Moving on to the negatives. One thing that annoys me about the Prophet Muhammad is he gets very upset if you draw him. Not that I was going to draw him anyway, but I don't like being told what I can and cannot draw. Moving on to number two negative is he actually directly orchestrated the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center in 2001, which, if you're familiar with these attacks, was a pretty massive tragedy. Moving on to the third negative here, he actually has sex with children. Final score for Muhammad, I'm going to be giving him a 72 virgins out of 10. I actually was going to give him 73 virgins, but I decided on deducting a virgin because of 9/11. So that concludes today's episode of Human Review. Let me know who you want me to review next. I was thinking of maybe doing the alien overlord Xenu. But, like I always say, once you go piney, you can't go black.